Now we've got the little FMS on the bench, and we're going to do a bit of work to it. Like I said, we've got these nice brass rings to start with to put some weight in the wheels, so I'm going to do those first. Now I've taken the wheel off, and there's 4 little screws on the back, as you can see. Being black on black, they don't stand out. And when you put the tyres back on, make sure you get the orientations the same, because these tyres are directional. And then to separate, with a little pointed thing, probe from the inside. It strips the ring out. Now let's have a look at these rings. There's the plastic one, because when I first saw these I thought, God, these look big. But then you don't see most of it on the inside. But these rings are really heavy, so that's pleasing. But size wise, slightly wider, but slightly less in diameter. Let's see how they go in. Take a little pop in around. They seem to fit in really nice, and boy do they add some weight. So now the wheel forwards, we got it directional, so we know to push the outer in. And then on the inner, if you can see, there's one extra hole. We've got to line that up. That could be easier said than done. There we go, I've got the pin in line. You might not be able to see it. Now we'll fit these. My little bane at the moment is small screws. But before we go mad, we'll recheck it that we've got it correct. The thing is, I think these are good. These rings are a good value for money, because they're adding a lot of weight low down. And that has to be good. Well, that went pretty easy. Seems okay. Going to take the back one off 1 minute to have a feel of weight. Huge difference. That is a lot of extra weight, but can't see any difference between them. So for the money, I think that was about £18. Took a couple of weeks to get here, but they're well worth the money. But I'm going to get all the others done, and at the same time I'm going to put a bit of grease inside the housings because they're a bit low on grease, and then we'll go on to the next part. Now we have the wheel weights fitted, and it adds a lot of weight. They're really quite a lump. I've also done the shock absorber mod, so it's not boingy anymore. All there is in the shocks is the O-rings in the bottom, 2 O-rings in the bottom, 1 in the top cap. Be careful removing the bottom one. I sent one flying, and it took an incredible amount of time to find the part, but I found it. And then just I added about 5 or 6 drops of oil, not too much, because there's no give on the piston. I noticed it's just a solid, so it doesn't over. Well, it should be alright, but it doesn't bounce anymore. So that's done, the wheel weights are done, and now I've got this other problem. I don't know if anyone else has had it, but the steering. I don't know if it's the servo on the way out. Probably won't drive it normal, but it just seems a bit weird that you can release it and it starts jittering. If anyone has an answer out there, please let me know. I think possibly the servo could be on its way out, but I'll run it until it goes because it's still working. Just got to think of how to do the battery now. Because I want to run it with the cage and something else eventually, so it will mean popping this in and out at times. It's just got to find what will work in the back. There's the little plastic tray to go in the back. It will just be screwed onto the centre bar here with 2 little screws in the middle, and then the battery should just lie in it and the rack go over, and it should hopefully keep it in there most of the time, less than a major roll. If not, I'll have to put a cable tie around it, but we'll come to that when we need to. So I'm going to continue on working on this. So there we go, the little tray screwed in the back. What I'll have to do is take the rack off, plug it in through the roll cage, and there you go. The battery holds in on its own. There we go. That won't need any more. Yeah, the actual roll cage is holding it, so I'm happy with that, but I'm not happy with the links. I'm going to have new ones. Where I was drilling on the chassis with it on, I broke a link, split the end. So these are not very strong, you've got to be careful, but there is a split in it. See, can I get in the thingy view? There we go, I've split the bloody thing. As much as I like this truck, it is a problem child at times. So now I've got to send off for probably metal links, see what they've got, because I'd rather have them than sod around with these. But then, like I said, I was drilling onto the chassis, which shouldn't have broke it. You know, to break it there, weird. But at least the battery conversion, it holds in there nicely with a bit of black paint. You won't even notice it. And the wires are just pushing it down nice. It just fits in tight enough. But then if it fails, I'll probably go with Velcro tape. Now the little battery trays had a coat of paint, so it blends in better. And I've done a little work to the spare wheel. I know you got the stickers for the doors, I'm not keen on them on the doors, so what I've done was I cut a thin disc of plastic, put one of the stickers on, and then screwed it back together with a smaller screw. Underneath the plastic there's a metal washer and then a rubber O-ring, so it pulls up tight, or tight enough. If you don't put anything under it correctly, it bends all the plastic and distorts it. And then, like when I do it, all I've got to do is, like I said, plug the battery in at the right time, hook it through and just lay it in the little box at the back. But it looks a little bit different, doesn't it? And the replacement links are on order to fit those.